What's up, guys? Really quick before I get into today's storytime video, I wanted to let you all know that today, being Wednesday the 5th, I believe, is one of the 3 sports games that I care about that happen every year, which is the State of Origin in Australia. I just finished posting on Facebook, but if you are watching this and you know what the State of Origin is and you support New South Wales, then I will feel a great surge of pity for you when Queensland wins tonight. So yeah, anyway, let's get into this. Alright, so today's story is not about the State of Origin, and it is in fact a continuation of my little storytime series about my career in the film industry. Today I'm going to be talking about my first sort of official acting role. At this point I had done drama in school for about 2 years, and had joined a drama group on Friday afternoons as well. Friday afternoons when I was in school were kind of busy. Now that I think about it, everything happened on a Friday night. But anyway, on this particular occasion, I was helping a friend with their film for their drama IP, so the individual project. I talked about my own, I think it was the second video, I think it was the last video I did, talking about my film career. So I had already done mine, and it was about 2 years after that I was helping a friend with his, because the only rule regarding having other people help you is you couldn't use other drama students in your year, whether they were from the same school or not. You couldn't use other drama students in your year, because obviously they were also being judged on their own individual stuff, and if you put them in it, then yeah, it kind of makes them get judged twice, and yours might have been the better one and they still get worse marks, because anyway, it was in all fairness to everyone. So he reached out to me knowing that I'd already done it, already understood what was going on, what had to be done, etc. And also knowing that I'd also graduated from doing my film course at the same time. So he approached me, was like, hey, I've got this original script that I've written. I want you to, if you wouldn't mind proofreading it, that'd be great. So I was like, yep, cool, I can do that. I'm interested in writing scripts myself, so I can not only look at it from a story perspective, but also it's more technical inner workings, that sort of thing, like the techniques and stuff used in script writing. So I was able to give him a pretty good sort of lowdown on how I thought the script was, and the script was fine. The script was really good. I was excited to that he'd let me sort of read it, and he was like, okay, cool. The reason I wanted you to proofread it because I was going to ask you if you wouldn't mind playing the only male character that's in this film. And I was like, I mean, sure, I can do that. Like, is there anything, like, while we're at it, is there anything else that you wanted my assistance with? And he was like, well, I've only recently started doing the film course myself. I still don't 100% know my way around the camera. So if you'd be able to come and give me some pointers on how to operate the camera and direct actors in a scene, that'd also be great. Like, just give me some pointers. So it was basically back in sort of the director's chair myself as well. in that on set and during rehearsals, two of the girls, which became pretty good friends of mine at the time, just loved to, who were also each other's best friends at this point in time as well, loved to get there in the room with everybody. So there was those two, myself, my friend whose film it was, and one other phenomenal actress that was playing a role herself. So there was the five of us in the room, and these two in particular loved to just go off and start making noise and not cooperate and stuff. And for whatever reason, they only decided that they wanted to listen to me. So it was then my responsibility, technically, to keep them sort of in line while we rehearsed so that we could make the best possible film, knowing that this was literally going to be going towards his marks. And then it just got even worse when we were out on set, because we were filming on location. And we went out to this property. There was a sort of a backfield that he wanted to use as one of the sets, one of the locations. And they got out there and decided to do the exact same thing. While I was talking him and he had two other people helping him as part of the crew, who were also doing the film course. I had to, while I was showing them sort of where to stand, how to operate the camera and all that other stuff, they decided that they were gonna start being stupid and making noise again, which made it harder for me to try and explain this stuff to them, because I then had to continually turn around and be like, hey guys, can you just keep it quiet? It's gonna be like 2 seconds and we'll be able to jump straight into this scene. So that made that interesting. And then we'd only filmed probably, he had about, I think it was 5 scenes that he wanted to film. We'd filmed one of them, and then he decided that what we really needed was a place to bond, not only doing rehearsals and actual film shoots, but then a time where we all went as a group to do this drama workshop. And I was just like, can we not just use that time to, you know, fine-tune the script or go and shoot a scene or, you know, whatever. Instead, we ended up doing this ridiculous workshop as well. So I'm working full-time, and then in all of my spare time, it's literally just this film occupying my life. But I was like, you know what, if that's, you're the director, if that's what you want for your film, then let's go do it. Let's just, you know, like, it's your call. These are your marks we're talking about. If you want to spend your time doing a ridiculous workshop, it's up to you. So we went and we did this this workshop. We were there for a couple of weeks. Like, it was like once a week sort of thing. We went and did this workshop. And then sort of on weekends and stuff, when everyone for particular scenes was free, we'd go and we'd shoot particular scenes. And so by the time we'd finished wrapping it up, it was, you know, getting really close to being time to have it edited and turned in. And I was like, hey, like, do you need help with editing it? Like, helped you on literally every other step of the way. Did you want like a second pair of eyes? You can still sit there and edit it yourself, but I can just give, you know, ideas and feedback to it. And he's like, no, like you said, you've helped on every other step of the way. I kind of feel like if I don't edit it on my own, I've sort of cheated a little bit. And I was like, okay, that's fair enough, but just know that if you do decide to take me up on that offer, that it still stands until, you know, you've got to turn it in. And so that was sort of it for me on that project. So I continued, you know, going to work, living my life the way I thought it was, you know, returned to normality, as it were. And then it came time for them, for like his year to turn in their major works for drama, and one of the girls that had previously been causing trouble on set for everyone and not cooperating with anybody came to me and told me that at the very last possible second that he could have possibly done it, he decided that he didn't like how the film came out. And I don't know if that's from how he framed it, from how the sound quality was, whether it was just his editing that he didn't like, or it wasn't going, that it wasn't going together the way he had envisioned it, or what happened. But at the last possible second, he had flipped and learnt a monologue, and he turned a monologue it instead. So I'd gone through all of this work and basically given all of my free time to this one project that to this day I myself have never actually seen even the raw footage for. So kind of upsets me. And then it was about, I think it was about a year later, this same girl came to me and was like, hey, so, even though he didn't turn it in, he burnt me a copy onto a DVD, and I have it. It's not great. And I know that, that this is something that you want to do, like you want to do film and stuff. Would you mind rewriting it? And I was like, well, I mean, there's a couple of things there to do with like rights and stuff. Like, it's his script, he wrote it. It's based on one of his friends' short stories that they did for English. So it's their story, his script. Like, I acted in it and did a little bit of crew work. Like, it's not really my film. Like, I'm in it, but it's not my film. So anyway, I messaged him, the guy whose film it was, and I was like, hey, these people want me to do a rewrite. They want to try and give this film the proper treatment that they feel it deserved, because they love your story, they love the script is great, but they feel like because of its constraints as a 7-minute film for a drama IP, it didn't come out the way you wanted it, because what you wanted was something that was a little bit more fleshed out. And they want me to rewrite it. So is that okay with you? And he turned to me and he's like, look, honestly, I really don't want to have anything to do with it. So if you guys want to, like, you guys were just as involved as I were, if that's what you guys want to do, it's your film now, go for it. So I started rewriting it, and it's now probably the only story in my like shared fictional universe that I have created for myself that doesn't have an element of science fiction or fantasy in it. It's completely grounded, like, universe as we know it sort of stuff. It's like a crime thriller, and there's all sorts of twists and turns, and as I was writing my rewrite for it, going, okay, well, we'll just take what we know and expand the characters a little bit, add a couple of new scenes in, maybe one extra character, just to sort of bring a balance to, male, female roles sort of thing. And then when I sort of stepped back and looked at it, I was like, hang on, this script and the script that I did for my IP are both like a crime thriller, is like their genre. Is it possible to merge them? And so I ended up doing that, and then was talking about it to the person that had asked me to rewrite the script, and that then evolved into something more, to something more, to something more, and it eventually became the first feature-length script that I had written. And by this time I'd met an actual scriptwriter through the film festival that I go to, and I was like, hey, I've written this feature-length film, would you mind proofreading it for me and giving me some feedback? and they gave me the feedback, and I got the Save the Cat books, which are script writing books. That sort of teach you how to write a script and stuff. And then between my feedback from the scriptwriter, the books, and what I already had, I was able to take out parts that were not necessary to sort of streamline the plot line a bit more. And I think it's currently the feature film, like it's currently the film script that I'm working on is the third draft for this film. I'm hoping it will also be the final draft, because I've literally been working at this film for the last 6 years. So I'm hoping that this will be the final draft that I'm working on. And once I've finished that, I'm actually hoping to try and get some funding to produce this. Because it's gone through a whole heap of iterations. Pretty much all the films that I'm going to talk about in this series of stories have had, at some point, an influence on how the story has turned out in the end. So that's basically the end point of this series, is this film. And even if I can only, film a 10-minute scene or whatever, still love to upload it to YouTube. Here's actually the reason I started YouTube to begin with, like 4 years ago or whatever. And to this date, I have not actually uploaded a single short film, so I really need to get on it. But yeah, that's all I've got for today. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscription button and the notification bell so that you are alerted when I upload a new video. You can check out my social medias in the description down below. And I think that's about it. So until next time, guys, night to A2, and I'll check you all later.